Good morning, Carson.
Good morning.
Um, Carson, obviously you've seen the Gators a lot. You've played against them twice. I think it's this your sixth time actually being on a team playing against them.
Yep.
Way back a million years ago when you were in high school, how serious were they on your when they offered? Was it ever? I mean, you were obviously a Florida kid. How was it ever a strong consideration that you might end up there?
Yeah, it was a very strong consideration, and I think most people know this, but I was actually committed to Florida my freshman year of high school for baseball, not football. So that was always kind of the plan of what I kind of wanted to do when I was younger. Obviously, is go there and play football and baseball, and obviously as you get older, things change, and but yeah, I mean they were in my top three or four schools in consideration when it came to making a decision coming out of high school.
You've seen their defense a lot over the years. Obviously, they've got some athletes as you would expect from Florida. What just jumps out when you look at tape of this group? Thank you.
Yeah, no, you look at this defense and you look at their D coordinator and what he does and they challenge you. They do things that, try to mess with your protection. They do things where it's a lot of match coverage and every throw is contested, but they also can mix it up and, play different types of zones. So they're very multiple on defense. And they do their job well. They play very fast. They're physical. Obviously, great D line, good secondary, good backers. I mean, they play fast. It's a really good defense, and they've shown that this year. And in the three games that they've played. So again, it's going to be a challenge for us, but we're excited to accept that challenge and go out and execute on Saturday.
All right, Adam, we'll go to you, and then Jordan, you're next.
Hey Carson, two questions. First, about the rivalry, just having played them as a starter twice and beating them twice, being on the bench for some of the other big rivalry games against them. Just what's your favorite memory of this rivalry of playing Florida?
Uh, yeah. So, in the Georgia Florida game, whenever we would win, obviously we're playing in Jacksonville, but our tradition after the game would always be to go jump up in the stands, like with all the Georgia fans. So I think in those games and those wins that we got, that's got to be, some of my favorite memories is, going up and jumping up in the stands with all my teammates at Georgia.
And then Shannon told us yesterday that he said that when you're diagramming plays with him and stuff, he said the majority of the plays that you're diagramming involve some kind of quarterback run aspect. You got a chance to do a little bit of that on Saturday. Just how much do you mentioned like the fact that like you are you're athletic, you can run, even though it's not really considered typically like the main part of your game or anything. So just how much do you enjoy getting to be physical, get in the run game like that, and also how much does Shannon Dawson and Max Driscoll have to kind of like restrain you a little bit and say, hey, no, we need you to be healthy and not get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really thinking about, not really getting hurt or anything like that. I'm just playing the game, right? If my number's called on to do that, then I'm more than willing to go run, right? And it's far from the main part of my game. It's not something that I'm gonna do every play or that we're gonna obviously depend on, but it's something that I'm willing to do. And it's something that I always joke about literally every single day of camp. I'd walk in the morning and I'd go up on the whiteboard in Shannon's in Coach Dawson's office. Or if we were already in a quarterback meeting, I'd go up on the board and I'd draw like quarterback power or quarterback counter, and everybody just laugh at me because we're literally never going to run that ever, even if I beg them to do it every single day. But no, it's a good little joke that I always do with them. But it was good that I actually got the opportunity to do a little bit in this last game.
When you're sorry to add a third question, but when you see like you make the read on a an RPO or something and you see this is perfect for me to take this and run, do you kind of like go like heck yeah, like it's time?
Oh yeah, I mean, I want the ball in my hands. That's the way. I mean, my mind is programmed. Like I want the ball in my hands every single play. Like I want it to be on me. Like I want to go make plays, whether that's with my arm or with my legs. Um, I mean, shoot, when I was in high school, my freshman sophomore year, I would literally get put in just to run the ball. Like I would not, I'd literally go in and not even throw. Now, when our starter went down, obviously I went in and would run the whole entire offense. But I mean, I would literally go in just to run the ball. So obviously, I'm probably like 230 now, not 190 like I used to be back then. But So probably a little bit slower than I used to be, but yeah, people don't know that. I can move a little bit.
All right, Jordan, you're up next, then Matt, and then Andrew, you'll wrap us up.
Yeah, hey Carson, also two questions. First, to piggyback off of one of Tim's questions, the fact that you have played UF before, you've seen their scheme, you've seen what they do. Obviously, there's turnover on the roster year over year, but how much does that experience help as you go into the game this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, just experience in general obviously helps as you continue to grow and develop. You can always get better, right? I'm never gonna, hit a plateau each game. There's something for me to get better at. There's something for me to learn from. But having played this defense and knowing the style, knowing kind of what they want to do, what they want to be in. Obviously, there's always change ups and mix ups that D coordinators are going to throw at you that you maybe haven't seen before. But again, it's good. I mean, they're very talented. They have a lot of talent on that defense. So it's going to be a challenge for us, but it's something that we're going to prepare. We're going to work through the week. We came in, we worked yesterday, we came in today, had a really tough physical practice today on a Tuesday. So we're just going to continue to prepare throughout the week, and then hopefully go out there and execute on Saturday.
And then wanted to ask you about just your mentality when obviously you had the couple interceptions last game, but your ability to flush a play and get ready for the next one. Just how has your mentality evolved when if things don't go right, okay, just move on to the next play, go just worry about what's ahead. How has that mentality evolved as you've matured and gotten experience throughout your college career?
Yeah, I mean, things are never going to be perfect, and obviously you strive for perfection, and that's something I think I've said before. I mean, obviously I strive for perfection every day, but it's never going to be perfect. So just in knowing that, it really doesn't matter. Obviously, I don't want to have mishaps like that or do things like that. And I'll do everything in my ability to not do that. But I can't be thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in attack mode, attack, attack, attack. We want to get explosive plays. We want to score. We want to throw the ball through the air, like and just attack. So if I can't be on the defensive, right? So like things are going to happen. They're going to get us. They're going to be in a better coverage for the play. I just have to make better decisions sometimes and not make bad plays worse. And I think that's something that, as you get older and older, you just learn from and you learn from your mistakes. And then again, if you make a mistake, you move on, you go make a play the next drive. It's really all you can do. So
All right, Matt, we'll go to you, and then Andrew, you'll wrap us up.
All right, thanks for taking a couple minutes here, Carson. I was curious, you get guys like Josh Moore who are developing tight ends, maybe we haven't seen everything we're going to see from them, guys like Elijah Lofton. Is this offense still evolving, or do you feel like sort of what we've seen is what it is, and then just do some tweaks, depending on the opponent?
and I think the offense is forever evolving. Obviously, as you get guys that start getting in the mix, especially some of these younger guys, and really, I mean, all the talent that we have, you don't know who is going to really like step up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's your guys that are like CJ, right? Like your older vets, your Keelans, your Malachis that have been consistent through these first three games and put up stats and gotten catches and things like that. And a physical back and Mark Fletcher, you got Marty. Lyle's been out for a little bit, but that's another really talented guy that we have that you haven't really seen much. Those tight ends you mentioned of like haven't really seen them much. But that's not because they're not capable, but it's just because the ball has just been getting spread around, right? So again, I don't think who is going to kind of step up and make those plays throughout the game. But again, I think the offense is forever evolving. Obviously, we have our base of who we are, right? But again, I'm looking forward to see who's going to continue to step up as we keep going through the season. It's a long season, and there's still a long way to go.
All right, Andrew, you'll bring us home.
Hey, Carson, thanks for doing this. You're leading the nation in completion percentage and top five in QBR and a bunch of other stats. And just curious what you feel like has contributed to your start to this season in terms of the accuracy that we've seen and the efficiency.
I think obviously a big thing to that is the people around me. Again, we've been playing lights out on offense really, and we've minimalized our mistakes and just been really efficient and consistent. That starts with Coach Dawson and then our O-line, our tight ends, our wide receivers, our running backs. We've had a very efficient run game. We've played physical. Our wide receivers have made plays on the outside. And again, that makes my life a lot easier, right? When I'm able to go through my progressions, my feet are clean, right? I'm not getting hit much in the pocket. The O line is doing a phenomenal job, and when I'm given time and am able to dissect defenses, I believe that I'm very efficient and I rarely miss. And I don't know, you can turn on the film and tell me if I'm wrong, but again, the guys are out there making plays, and I mean, I have to give a huge credit to them. So, I mean, I put in work a lot of work in the offseason with these guys, and it's really paying off through these first 3 games. But again, we got a long season to go, and I think we can keep it up and maintain that consistency.
Hey, Mark, thanks for taking some time.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you're known as a physical effort running back, but it just seems like there's a different level of effort by everyone on offense. I mean, you put on the tape from last game, there's 3 offensive linemen helping push you 5 extra yards. There's wide receivers as small as Malachi Tony, that are blocking 20, 30 yards down the field. Can you just sort of talk to that? Is that something that's always been here at Miami? Because I know Mario Cristobal's preached it ever since he got here, but maybe are we seeing it a little bit more this year for some reason?
Yes, sir. We definitely want to just emphasize that because nobody here on like what I love about this team, nobody's selfish. Like I don't know if you guys heard Carson's interview, post game interview, but nobody's worried about individual success. Like we all just want the best for each other, and that's just putting it all on the line. Even if like that player doesn't have the ball in his hands. So that's why you see the receivers blocking their tails off, O-line pushing me for some extra yards, and everybody's just celebrating. One person scored, but everybody's celebrating like they scored. That's just what we want to do, play team football.
All right, Adam, we'll go to you and then Jordan.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Going good and yourself?
Doing pretty well. So obviously you guys played Florida last year, and I know Florida was, um, recruiting you pretty hard when you were coming out of high school. So just, looking at everything, the rivalry, just as a South Florida guy, just what does this rivalry mean to you?
Oh yeah, no, this generational. That's what I would say. These are the type of games you want to play in, type of games you grew up watching as a South Florida kid. But now it's gonna be exciting, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
Looking back at last year, I mean, just how satisfying was it to go to their place, kind of run them out of the building a little bit? How satisfying was that? And do you think, I mean, just from a player's perspective, do you think they kind of want to get you guys back for that?
Oh yeah, no, it was last year. It was fun, doing that. It was fun, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those guys they coming here to play football. That's a very well coached team. Those guys fly around, extremely talented on both sides of the football. So we just got to be on our A game, and we're ready for the challenge.
All right, Jordan, we'll go to you and then Andrea.
Yeah, hey there, Mark. You touched on a little bit about the fact that the entire offense, nobody cares about individual stats and all of that. Just how does it feel 3 weeks into the season, seeing how many guys have contributed, how many guys are able to make an impact, and to see the balance that you guys have offensively?
We always knew that anybody could go in there and get the job done. It's just all about when your name is called upon. So everybody just stays ready, stay locked in, and that's goes for each position on the offense. And anybody could get in there and get the job done. So we just try to just do that.
All right, Andrea.
Hey, Mark, thanks for doing this. I know in the game last year, you were still kind of getting over an injury from the offseason. Just how good is it going to feel going into this game, knowing that you're playing maybe the best that you've played in your career at Miami?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It definitely gives me a lot of confidence in myself, and I feel very, very healthy. I'm just it is going into week 4, so nobody's body, feels, completely 100%.
Right.
Everybody's banged up, have nicks and crannies here, but that's just, everybody's hurt. So it's just, putting mind over matter, working hard, doing some extra treatment, and I'm just excited that I could just help my team the best of my ability.
And one more, if I could, it just feels like you're running with a lot more power this year, in addition to your next level of speed. What has gone into, I guess, your ability to play with the type of power we've seen from you, not only making guys miss, but running through tackles and the types of second efforts that we've seen?
Honestly, I'm just trying my hardest. Every time I get that ball in my hand, I just think about all the hard stuff I went through and, I just know I have these guys who got my back 100%. I know everybody just, trusting me. So, I'm running for the entire program. So that's every time I get that ball in my hand, I just want everybody to see that.
Hey, Markel, how's it going?
How are you?
Doing well. So looking ahead to this game this weekend, obviously it's going to be kind of a big spotlight. College game day is going to be here, prime time game. What are, I guess, maybe the coaches told you guys about just like staying focused and how do you guys like kind of lock in when there's kind of a little bit more of a spotlight, a little bit more of a circus going on this week?
Yeah, ever since the beginning of fall camp, winter workouts, and now lead up to now, we've been focused on this. We keeping all the outside noise out. We just focus on this. We prepare the same like in any other game, whether we're playing Florida, Bethune-Cookman, USF, anybody, you know.
And then, about the offensive line as a whole, I mean, you guys have been doing very well this year, run blocking, pass blocking. Um, what do you think? I mean, how do you think you guys have been able to do that? What's been working so well for you?
Man, we just been worrying about our job, just doing our job, getting it done to the best of our capabilities every single play.
All right, next we'll go to Jordan.
Hey there, Markella. For you specifically, how would you evaluate your first three games as a full-time starter?
I think, I mean, me honestly, obviously I got stuff to improve, but I think I'm doing pretty good. And just for me, I'm not getting complacent with the success I've had. I'm just looking forward to getting better.
And then looking to Florida, just their defensive line in particular, what stands out about them? What are going to be maybe some of the challenges they present this weekend?
Their defense overall is just a very good defense. They held some very good teams to a minimum amount of points. And so we just know we had to come out there and it's gonna be a real physical game as always. We're gonna do our routine plays and we're gonna come out the ball and we're gonna do what we do.
Adam, we'll go back to you.
Hey again. So one of the things I was just thinking about was like that package that Shannon Dawson put together with SJ, I think at fullback, I mean extra O lineman, just I mean stuff like that. Like how much do you guys enjoy that? Like that kind of interesting stuff, and do you guys give like SJ any any trouble? Be like, hey, no, I want to play fullback. I want to line up back there, anything like that.
Yeah, we know y'all want the spotlight or attention on fullback, but no, I'm just happy. I'm proud of my young guy SJ. Just even just stepping up in a big game like that. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy to see them guys shine and step up.
Yeah. Hey, James, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good. Just curious your thoughts on with the matchup this week, just what stands out about Florida and what do you think might be some of the challenges they pose to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they got a really talented get their record and they're 1-2, but that's not what they look like on tape. They're a really fast and physical team who have a lot of talent, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. And up front, it'll probably be one of the better fronts we play all year. So, we're up for the challenge.
And then for you personally, 3 weeks in now to your UM career, obviously you've been here since January, but how do you feel like you've integrated into this offensive line? How do you feel like everything's been coming together?
Yeah, I think we've done a decent job so far. I think there's a lot of room to grow, but yeah, at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to do my job, and I got a lot of good players around me who make it a lot easier on me. And I could probably go up there and not make any calls, and I think everyone would know what to do just how much experience we've got up front, and that's something that's really awesome to have around me.
All right, Adam, we'll go to you and then Luke.
Hey James, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing well. So obviously, being new to the team, you weren't with the team last year when they went to you up to UF. But what do you know about like this rivalry? How intense does it feel? Maybe kind of almost from an outsider perspective of having not grown up in South Florida or anything like that. Just how does this rivalry like feel to you? What's it been like?
Yeah, I didn't grow up. I guess a part of this rivalry, I guess you could say. But I've always been a college football fan growing up. I know that this game means a lot, and especially just being an interstate rivalry, it's gonna have a ton of weight to it. But at the end of the day, it's another game, and we got to go out there and execute and do our job at a high level and sustain it for 60 minutes or however long it takes.
All right, Luke.
Hey James, how's it going, man?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. So with the offensive line's ability to push the pile and having running backs like Marty and Mark who can turn a 3 yard gain into a 6 or a 7 yard gain, what does that say about just the level of physicality of this offense?
Yeah, I mean that's one of our MOs is always be the most physical team out there, and that's our goal every week. But I think whenever you look at having success in the run game, a lot of the time the O line and the running backs get credit, but I think one thing that's really standing out right now is the way our receivers are blocking on the perimeter and they're playing with an extreme level of physicality that I'm not sure I've ever seen receivers play with, um, ever. And those guys get after it like crazy. If you go back and watch Mark's long touchdown run, Keelan and Tony are out there blocking their tails off, and that's the reason we scored a touchdown there. So, the O line can hopefully handle the first and second levels. But, again, the third level, that's where we really have big runs, and that's where our receivers are doing a lot for us right there.